One thing a lot of people fail to realize is that the word no, as much as it's a two-letter word, is also a full sentence. You can write no with a full stop and it will be grammatically correct. A 2023 APA study on social psychology did find that people found it really hard to say the word no because they consistently overestimated the social fallout of turning someone down. Hi, I'm AB. This is Diary of a Silli-mazing Human. The theory being that you can do amazing things and still be silly and goofy all at the same time. I was in a meeting once, the kind where a group of us sit around and talk about how everyone on the team is doing, what their performance is, what their ratings are, who's on track, who isn't, and what the next steps will be. So we get to this person and the numbers aren't looking good. This person is heading towards an underperformance rating, and it was really, really surprising for everyone in the room because we knew that this person was a very capable person. In fact, very, very capable person. So upon further investigation, it just so happened that they had said yes to every project, every favor, every cry for help, and then ended up being so overwhelmed that they didn't deliver on anything that mattered. I recall that on that call, I said, can you please send them to me so I can teach them a very short course on how to say no? Everyone laughed because they knew I'd be very, very good at teaching this course. Well, today we are in luck because I'm teaching it for free. And yeah, no need to thank me. You're welcome. Now back to the person in the meeting. Why did they say yes to everything? If I were to take a wild guess, I would say it definitely wasn't because they were very enthusiastic about their job. I do think it was because they didn't want to disappoint anyone. They likely thought that people would react differently to them if they said no, or that their no would make people feel bad. So they decided that they had been assigned by the universe to be the custodian of everyone's feelings. The last time I checked, nobody assigned you as anyone's custodian. People are totally capable of handling their disappointment, and you do not need to protect them from it. You cannot carry everyone's discomfort for them. You're not the savior of the world. You are the savior of yourself, so it's very important that you start there. I once wrote an article titled The Science of Self-Preservation. I'll add the link to that article on the show notes because I think everyone should read it. So back to this person. Now tell me, after protecting everyone's feelings and not disappointing them, is it not very obvious that they've disappointed themselves? You disappoint yourself when you do not show up your best, when you do not do excellent work, when you do not do the things you love because you're going along with other people's plans. And all for what? Because you're trying to protect their feelings, because you do not trust that they're capable of handling disappointment. Bruh. For example, at work, saying, no, I'm at capacity right now, I can't take anything more on, is totally fine. Telling a friend, no, I want to go to bed early tonight, is also totally fine. No is a two-letter word, but it's also a full sentence. You do not need to add a justification or an explanation. If you add an explanation, it's because you do think that the relationship deserves it. Not because you want to justify the no, because you think the no needs an approval. Your no does not need an approval. Saying I do not want to is enough. If you say, yesterday I went out at night, I came back tired, my legs hurt, and so I'm thinking that it might be best if I just stayed in, bruh, that is not a no. It leaves the door open and it can be followed by, okay, why don't you just come out for 1 hour? Now, what do you say? You likely say, okay, that's fine, because you're trying to not offend someone. Saying I do not want to is enough. I assure you it is enough. Whether at work or in our relationships, it's important that we learn to be more comfortable with saying no. Understanding that anything that comes after the no is not a justification for an approval, but a kind explanation of context. If you're speaking to your manager at work and they want to give you more work than you can handle, you can say, I'm at capacity right now. Nevertheless, if this is of high priority, what would you like me to drop in order to take this on? The no is very clear, but you've kept the floor open for them to take stuff off your plate if they need to place anything on. Saying to your family or to your friends, no, next week is not convenient for me, maybe some other time, is also totally fine. And let me let you in on a little secret. When you encounter that one person who tries to insist that you do the thing that you do not want to, after you've been very clear that you do not want to, just reply with a full sentence, N-O. And if you want to be cheeky, and this is happening via text, just add a smiley emoji to piss them off. You didn't hear that from me. Anyways, my challenge to you this week is to say more no's and trust that the person on the other end can handle it. Your no will not break them. Instead, it will preserve your sanity. And also, when you provide context, understand that it's not context that's seeking an approval. It's context that you're providing because the relationship deserves it. I look forward to hearing that you said more no's this week. Stay cool.